This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Chris wants to know, when Undertaker taped his hands up and sat at Gorilla for WrestleMania 14's main event, what was going through Bruce's mind? Was he legitimately concerned there could be a physical altercation, or did you know cooler heads would prevail?
I felt that basically whatever was going to happen was going to happen. And I also was confident that what we needed to have happen out in the arena was going to happen. I just really felt that everybody was going to get through this. There's a lot of talk, there's a lot of bravado and a lot of, fuck yous. But at the end, I think that everybody in that ring and everybody involved was professional. And at the end of the day, knew to do the right thing for business.
Here's one from Colby. Does Vince ever kick people out of Gorilla? We hear that talent could gather there for big matches, but it seems like it could get crowded and hard to conduct business. Not asking these days, but back in the day, do you have a story about there being some sort of shoe fly? Get out of here. Thanks for coming by. See ya. Bye-bye.
I used to throw people out. Yes. Just because it was too loud and I couldn't find people. So, there would be times when they would congregate up there and you're looking for someone in the next match and you can't see them and you're yelling for them and maybe they're out the door on the other side, but because you've got 15 people in Gorilla, you can't get a hold of them. So yes, in the middle of shows, I would be known to take my headset off and maybe loudly ask people to get out. Yeah.
Christopher,
not on deck and you're not next, get out.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. If it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at SaveWithConrad.com. Chase Hernandez writes, if Bruce had to have been at one of the big four shows he missed early in the 90s, which one would he have preferred to have been at the most? And what was something that he would have pitched differently? So we'll answer that one piece at a time. You missed a lot of the big 92 shows. So you missed like SummerSlam 91 and you missed SummerSlam 92, which I think you probably would have wanted to be at, but you also missed Royal Rumble 92, WrestleMania 8. Is there one where you're like, man, if I could go back and still work with the company to help put together that? Would it have been WrestleMania 8? Would it have been SummerSlam 92? Would it have been the 92 Rumble? What do you think?
It would have been the Rumble where Flair went all the way through.
92. Yeah.
And then WrestleMania 8 would be second.
I just assumed you would have loved SummerSlam 92 because you would have gotten the big stadium show and across the pond. That would have been great.
Yes. I mean, that I would have loved that, to have that feel in England and everything. But I think that the laying out, when you look at the actual event, that Rumble to me would have been so much fun to work on.
Oh, many Hall of Famers, and what a cool finish.
Yeah. I would have loved to have helped lay that match out and be able to be a part of that. That was really, really cool. And then WrestleMania 8, just again, from the potential of it, I'm not sure that it would have had Hulk and Sid, at least not in that incarnation. I think that either you would have put the championship on Sid and gone with Sid and Hulk. You would put the championship on Sid at the Royal Rumble, or you go with Hogan and Flair. But I don't know that I would have had the matchups. I think, hindsight being 2020. But then again, they'd had Hulk and Flair and it didn't draw. So I could see why they didn't do that. But I think that it was a different chase. And Hogan chasing at that time, I think, could have been interesting.
If you would have done another angle, you pitched before, you like the idea of maybe the Papa Shango thing. If he had voodoo dolls, that could have been a fun thing. Do any other ideas like that pop up when you're at home watching and you think, oh man, that would have been cool if we could have done XYZ?
You know who I like, man? Yes, and I love Papa Shango. But I also really liked Big Bully Busick.
Wow, that's a name I didn't expect to hear.
Because it was different.
Yeah.
He looked different. He looked like a real tough guy, man. He looked like one of those old bare knuckle barroom brawlers.
Yeah.
And I thought there was so much you could do with a bully. And I thought that Nick played it to the T, but there was just something missing with Nick. He couldn't take it beyond the gimmick. You know what I mean? He couldn't get it all done in the ring. And I just was always intrigued by his gimmick. And the other one was Nails. It would have been great to have had a guy that could really work that gimmick.
Yeah.
And it was a cool story. And, you know, it worked. I just wish that, you know, Nails could have gone a lot further and had maybe someone else to portray that character. Would have been neat.
Chris wants to know, it's been said a lot, it's not who gets over or who goes over, but who gets over. Which of the three best exemplifies that in your mind? Snuka in the cage at MSG versus Morocco, Austin versus Brett at WrestleMania 13, or Foley versus Undertaker at Hell in a Cell? It's got to be Foley, right?
Yeah, really, it's Austin.
Okay.
Because, you know, Foley did it. Yes, Foley definitely did it. And some of what Foley did was unfortunately by mistake with the cage giving way. I don't know that, look, the bump, and yes, I mean, the answer to that question is all those guys did. But if you're going to pick one, it was Austin because that was by design. And by the way, it ain't who goes over, it's who gets over. It's not what you make, it's what you say, kid. Yeah, because there's these things and they call them T-bills. The government will never go broke. You say only 2%. 2% adds up. It was a very intense conversation I had with Macho Man on a plane one day, literally nose to nose, because we're facing each other in the aisle while we're standing in first class, and Randy wasn't in first class. I kept trying to give him my seat, and he wouldn't take my seat, but he would stand up there and talk to me and take the free drinks.
But he was lecturing you about T-bills.
He's lecturing me about T-bills, and it's not what you make, it's what you save. You gotta invest, Let me give you a tip. The U.S. government will never go broke. Don't go in the stock market. It's a sucker's bet. Yeah, T-bills. But, like, right in my face, nose to nose. Yeah. Standing sideways in the aisle facing each other. I
think Lenny Bakken has better financial advice than that. So look him up if
yeah, Edward Jones, Lenny Bakken. Yeah, good guy. And plus, if you're good to him, you'll get a Juicy Lucy. Yeah. Tell Lucy I said hello.
That's Bakken.
Last name Lucy.
Oh, wow. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.